Today on Blue Collar Adventures, we're on the Sockeye Run in Dillingham, Alaska. Stay tuned.
Throwing on my jeans cause it's the morning of the day, and I need to be working and there's nothing left to say. Well, if I don't bring the bread, then I guess it's shame on me. Well, I need to bring it home, and that's the way it's got to be, cause I'm a hard-working man indeed.
River. We're going to do a little sockeye salmon fishing with some fly rods, and then as the day goes on we'll break it up with probably some char, trout, grayling, pike, whatever you guys feel like doing today. So our first destination would be the Walk River.
What an amazing place here in Alaska. We threw in our fly rods, headed upriver to find a big line of fish. We decided to take a little time off in Texas when it's 106 degrees and go to this beautiful country and cool off.
It's like taking your buddies fishing every day. Can't get much better than this. You get a lakefront view as soon as you get up in the morning. It's hard not to love.
Wildlife's out, the sockeye are running. Our guides brought us up here. We're going to try a little fly fishing for some sockeye. Got the Harbins with me, and it's going to be an awesome trip here in Dillingham, Alaska, at Bear Claw Lodge.
It's just kind of a toss. It's not a traditional fly cast. You just kind of take it and roll it out there, drop it over the top of the salmon, and just let it kind of swing. And the trick to it is getting it to swing down through the fish at just the right angle with, different things as far as leader sizes, weights, everything like that will make, a big difference as far as coming through the fish the right way. So
the main thing about catching a big fish like this is to make sure you keep your knuckles out of the way, or you get what's called the knuckle buster. Let those fish run, and sometimes they'll just jump right back in line. But with one cast, he showed us how to get one in.
My knuckles busted about 4 or 5 times. My first time out, finally realized that that reel can be a deadly weapon.
Now we turn him loose?
Yeah, I've got to turn any fish that comes out. Take a little bit. Nice fish. There it is.
There was a knuckle buster. Out.
I told you. Watch your.
Look at the rod right there.
Drop that rod tip down just a little bit.
Right here?
Back towards it. What that'll do is that'll take that fly line and it'll push the water a bit. It helps the resistance pull towards the side.
This one's not going in easy. I felt the sting of the knuckle busting on right there. set it out, he will carry his hook.
When you decide to run, go ahead and just let him take line. There's no way you'll stop him.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Stop him up just a little bit.
Oh! He got loose.
Excited to be able to bring Daniel, my son, with me. We've made a couple other really good trips, but this is by far the furthest we've ever come, and I'm just looking forward to being able to make memories and pass on a legacy to him of hunting and fishing.
I got it. Yep. We quit messing around. Just go ahead and reel him in. That's awesome, Dad. Good job. You bet got the backing on that one. He ran out there.
Back upstream
It's a big one, Rich. First salmon.
All right.
Big salmon.
Tough fish, that's for sure.
Well, they're strong.
I can't believe how strong of a fish it is for their size.
Beautiful.
Bright chrome, fresh from the ocean.
Thank you.
Good job. Way to go, your first sockeye is a good size one.
That's a hoss.
Yeah. Great.
We got him in some extra large waders. The large were just a hair too tight. I'm afraid we might have had a blowout in this cold water up here. You gotta be real careful. You blow out in this water, it's trouble. Well, Rich wasn't kidding about leaving a legacy. Every cast this guy had a big giant fish on, and Daniel just got to sit and watch him work. Uh-oh.
Give a nice tight pull. It'll come out. Little more. There you go. You got her.
He's legendary up here in Alaska for catching these silvers at every cast. Rich, you're natural.
Beginner's luck.
Well, the next species we were after was the Arctic char. You watch for these birds back here, and they're feeding on the bait fish where the river runs into the lake. These are some big, pretty fish, and they're strong, and they're a lot of fun on light tackle. Of course, my guide jumps in and shows me how to do it first. I always like to have a good example. get a look at you. Pretty little fish. Can you get him off right there? Ooh, that's a pretty one. See that thing, turn him sideways. Oh man,
Nice Arctic char there.
there he goes. It's the cast right there, and we're on my first Arctic char. Blue Collar Adventures comes to Alaska. It's a pretty good fish. That's pretty good. Caught it in the sockeye. Oh man, that's pretty hard. These Arctic char are a blast to catch, and they put up a great fight. Takes me a little longer to get this on the end, but I had to lay hands on him. Beautiful fish. I wanted to turn him back for someone else to catch.
Guys, welcome up here to the Agulawak River. We're here with Bear Claw Lodge today. Today our tactics, we're going for rainbow trout up here. Gonna be swinging egg-sucking leech patterns, chartreuse head. Seems to be the hot color up here today. Mainly we're on this gravel flat, fishing a shelf little region, and the rainbows are hanging out doing their feeding today, and we're just gonna swing our streamers and see if we can get some action. This is Dan Gregory on Blue Collar Adventures. We're running 6 weights today for the trout, which is a good weight for the flow of this river and the size of the fish we've got. Fish will range anywhere from 16 to 22 inches, average being about 17 to 19. Really hardy, healthy fish, feeding on a lot of eggs this time of the year with sockeye coming through. They get about 50 to 60% of their diet during this next month to 2 months, so it's pretty amazing how quick these fish can grow. Pretty much I live through my passions, and fishing and the outdoors has always been one, so being able to share that with other people and spread that enjoyment into their lives has always been a big part of why I've done this type of work. Leech patterns and streamers in general, as you cast basically perpendicular towards the shore, and it's called swinging. There he is again.
We're using a swing pattern technique, and what it does is lets your fly presentation catch the current, whether it's a dry fly or it's a leech underneath submerged, which we're doing here, and it gets into that current and does a swing, and those fish cannot help themselves. They have to eat it. These guides are so great to be with. It's like going and joining some old friends. No pressure. Just go catch some fish, see some pretty country. I don't know who has a better job, them or me. Made some great friends and learned some great techniques on slinging streamers for trout and catching a big salmon and not breaking your knuckle. They're pretty fish, aren't they?
That is a Agulawak trout. Have a look at their own as well. Beautiful colorations.
You can explain to them why I'm not helping you.
Gotta get the footage here, boys. There we go. With the rainbows, we try to be as delicate as we can with the fish. That's why we use the rubber basket netting, and always wet your hands before you touch any trout. And salmon their skin slime is very delicate, and once they lose that protective coating, their body will deteriorate very quickly. So It's just a really popular conservation tactic that pretty much has been developed over the years with all trout and salmon fishing. And we also use single barbless hooks just to make the whole process go a little quicker and safer for the fish. Pinch our barbs down, and it's all about sustainability up here in Alaska. You know, a lot of people come up to fish and want to make sure that that goes on for a long time and keep that quality at where we'd like it to be. So, you know, we do our best on those conservation levels.
It was my shot at the rainbows, and it wasn't long. Dan showed me how to hook one and had my first rainbow on in Alaska. One thing about fly fishing is it's all about confidence. When you come to Alaska, there's a pretty good guarantee you're going to hook some fish. And I think it's a great opportunity for novice as well as expert fly fishermen to get in some of the best habitat for freshwater fly fishing there is in the world.
You like me to kind of hook it like that?
Yep.
The bad thing about that right there is it's your turn to fish again.
I got one in, and now it's his turn to fish. One thing at Blue Collar, we love our guides to participate because for the viewer, I feel like they're the experts. This is their country, their waters, and when we can get out here and let them do their thing, I think we can pick up more from them than you can from us. So we like to take turns on Blue Collar. I would say that a little different. We take turns. I don't know if I like it so much, but I enjoy fishing with these guys, and you can always learn something from a pro.
Got a pretty little fish.
Not done yet.
No.
This is on the smaller end of our rainbows here.
Well, they said it was going to rain, but we didn't even notice. The rainbows kept biting, and we kept fishing.
Once you leave lower 48 and come up here, you can forget about your cell phones, you can forget about everything that keeps you busy and running around and hustling and bustling back home. And the way of life here is nobody's in a hurry. Everybody has time to visit. And it's just a much slower way of life and pace of life, probably how it used to be way back when. And that's been, it's harder to adjust to go back home and to get caught up in business and in all the activities that you do. Than it is to leave all that and come up here. And so as far as that goes, you can't compare. It's just you look forward to coming up here and spending 4 and 5 months up here, and you look and you're sad when you have to go home. Well, I don't guarantee much. Fishing is fishing, other than you're going to have a good time, you're going to have a comfortable accommodation, you're going to have great company and great guides out in the field. And if the fish are there, we're going to sure give them a good run for their money. And fortunately for us, the success rate and the probability of doing well is very high. We want you to have an Alaskan adventure. Fishing is a big part of it when you come up here, but so is everything you do, from getting here to hanging out and fishing with the guides and learning some new things, the food, the travel to the remote camps and the fly-out camps. It all makes the trip, every part of that. And so while fishing is what you mainly come to do, we want to sell you an Alaskan adventure. And so that's what we push on people, is you're not just coming for a fishing trip, you're coming for an adventure from the get-go, from all the way around, from once you leave your place of origin until you get here, and then once you go home. It's an adventure every step of the way. That's probably the whole reason that you get into the business, is because you're in some capacity people-oriented or service-oriented. And it's just as good as if you were catching the fish yourself, as you can take an individual out there that may not have had that opportunity to do that very much, or you take the experienced fisherman that's done it all his life, he's just in a new area, and you can get them on the fish and they can be successful in catching fish and boating them. And so that's probably about the best part of the job, is when you can see their face light up and the excitement they have on pulling in a big king salmon or catching a nice rainbow on a dry fly. That's what makes it worthwhile when you see the expression on your client's face.